What's up, everybody? Here, go back to yet another reaction. Today, we're hopping into the season finale of Chernobyl, episode number 5. Vichnaya Pamyat, I think. We looked at the definition of that. It means eternal memory or external memory.
Eternal.
Eternal memory, which you said is something about.
It said something about used in Russian funerals or something like that.
I guess some deaths happen. We had some predictions about what might happen here. We've out like what I predict. I'm like maybe the guy, maybe other Boris and the girl are gonna be killed.
Oh yeah,
that's what leads to the one guy killing himself. Maybe it is just a courtroom. Maybe they win. Maybe they put it out into the public. They win, and they get killed. I don't know. I just can't imagine the KGB is gonna be like, oh well, they got us. We're good. Let's go away. So, what else happened? Last episode was crazy. It was a lot of like the fixing of stuff, the stuff with the robot, thing on the roof. Found out what happened to that woman's baby. One woman kept investigating. This is like a giant movie, a 10-hour movie. Really good. So it's the ending. I know that there was a cover up, which we've kind of seen hints of. I'm guessing this is gonna be them getting exploited or like exposed out there. I'm not even sure what else they could besides the court. Maybe they'll hop back to seeing the thing being built. I'm trying to think of what else they could show in this episode besides the court, because this is going to be an hour and 15-minute court case.
Oh yeah, so, that'd be a lot. Yeah,
so I'm thinking did the whole thing with the dogs, with the kid that was shooting. So I don't know. We're gonna hop in here, have a good. Well, we're gonna enjoy the show. I can't really say. I usually always say have a good time, but with this kind of show, it's like, oh, this is all kinds of fucked up. So let's hop in here. See where it goes. Like, comment, subscribe. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. This show's one of those shows that like watch you like, man, this still just moments that'll stick with you.
Oh yeah. This is when this is before. This is before,
that's the
right?
One dude, the one guy that they make look into.
Oh, I see what they're doing now. Yeah.
This is heaven for them. This is the day before it all happens. Like, what's that?
I'm saying, what if they're just showing like life and then the explosion happens?
Oh, and they're gonna jump to aftermath.
I hear they might promote Brukhanov. This little problem we have with the safety test.
That shit. Clearly, what are you? I wonder. I wonder what you are. They haven't even fixed it. Even after Chernobyl, they're like, what? Wow, but he was doing what they said. He didn't do what the lady said. He didn't tell them the truth or nothing.
Oh, acting like that?
Well, they're here. Kill me. I guess he must feel a little bit safe because he knows that they need him right now. Holly Boris.
Did you take a train?
Yes, it is not.
She's not gonna die. I mean, she's not gonna die from this. She never went there, right? She never went close enough.
She never went close enough.
Viktor Brukhanov, Anatoly Dyatlov, Nikolai Fomin are accused of violating Article 220, Section 2 of the Criminal Code of the Soviet Union, resulting in a nuclear disaster on April 26, 1986.
This is some bullshit. They were part of the
problem. The state calls witnesses Comrade Khamyuk of the Belarusian Nuclear Institute, Comrade Legasov of the Kurchatov Institute of Atomic Energy, and Comrade Boris.
So Boris is gonna straight up just tell them what they want to hear. Yeah.
It began with this document was a lie. In order to sign this certificate, all safety tests had
how
to
much
have
older
been
he looks than the other
successfully
two.
completed, and yet
Look how much older he looks than
oh
the
yeah,
other
he
two.
looks like he's mega old now. A year later, he looks
a nuclear reactor
70.
generates heat in the core here. A series of pumps here and here send a constant flow of cooling water through the core. The core's heat turns the water to fuel melts down. In short, a nuclear disaster. The solution? 3 diesel fuel backup generators here. So, problem solved? No. Brukhanov knew that the problem was not solved at all. The backup generators took approximately 1 minute to
Can you
reach
just
the
sit
speed
here
required
like just
to
take
power
this
the pumps
bullshit
and
line.
prevent a meltdown. And by that time, it would...
At midnight, there is a shift change.
Interesting. Oh, this is the one guy.
Oh man. Oh, this is cool. I didn't think we were gonna
Yes,
revisit.
I was asking how would they make it into an hour and 15. This is how. Yeah.
Forget it. Find him.
Akimov says to come to the control room as soon as you can.
He's already here.
He came in early. Something about a test.
You see? Desperate.
I wonder if we'll see the reactor explode with the people that were in there.
Sasha, supposed to do those or not?
The shit crossed off with a red marker. What the fuck does that mean? Oh man, this is some crazy bullshit.
Yes, this is Akimov in 4.
Well, I guess we're learning on the
I
fly.
have the manual for the rundown test. You did it last year.
Son,
Stelyachuk? Yes. Kirschenbaum? I haven't reviewed. We only just found out we're there. Review it.
what the
Or
fuck
you
is
can just do
happening?
what I tell you. I think even you, stupid as you are, can manage that. Well, let's go.
Nuts. Like 6 people here that have no idea what the fuck they're doing, bro.
This turbine off while the reactor's still running. This is not good. Shut the fuck up and do your job. Topped and off. Reduce power to 700.
I've never done this with the power so low before. It's okay, I'm with you.
Away. It built up, poisoning the core.
Oh,
We're starting to lose
I'm
balance.
keeping it at
At
half off
28
for-
minutes past midnight,
Okay, very slow now. Let's ease it down to 700. Whoa,
Oh, that's
stop.
it. Yo, it's
Whoa.
going real fast.
Move any rods there.
Doing it on its own.
This is when we need to stop. This is when we need to stop right now. It's going so. Oh, it's going by itself.
Raise the power.
I would like you to record your command.
Raise the
Wow.
That was smart though. You wanted him to make it official so that way he can save his own. When it goes bad, he can blame him. Wow. Okay. So this guy takes a good portion of the blame right now. This guy sucks ass.
Together then.
Why are they holding this trial at Chernobyl?
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Like, how far is the city of Chernobyl from the reactor at Chernobyl? Why couldn't we hold this shit at the Capitol, wherever the hell that is? Or other people.
Oh, sorry. This is all we can get. It's 200 megawatts.
They're gonna do
Almost
the,
everything out.
They pull the test with that.
That's all we have. That's all we have.
At any point he stops this,
Main
this
pump
will
full
happen.
connected. We should warn Herdomchuk. The pipes are going to be jumping.
Never mind him. Kirschenbaum?
God, he's just replacing people that are saying no. What the fuck?
The steam in the separator drum is too low. 5 atmospheres.
All right, let's all help him. Get it up as best you can.
Way to avoid what was coming. He knows something. Comrade
She knows something.
Oh wait, he's saying fuck it
I
now.
know what you are, Valerian.
They're throwing him under the bus.
You're a liar.
He's saying
We've heard enough for
say what the
today.
button we're supposed to do.
The defendants will be remanded
Hey,
in
fuck it.
custody. Court will...
I haven't finished. We still have more evidence to get. Reactor 4 is now a nuclear bomb. 123:42. Perevoschenko looks down on the enormous steel lid of the reactor and sees the impossible. The control
Oh,
rod and fuel
shit.
channel caps, which each weigh 350 kilograms, are jumping up and down.
Dude, them shits are
He
fucking
runs
weight like a
toward the
motherfucker.
control room, but there's nothing he can do to stop what is
As soon
coming.
as he takes off that hand.
123 and
Oh,
44
shit.
seconds. In the instant the lid is thrown off the reactor, oxygen rushes in. It combines with hydrogen and superheated graphite. The chain of disaster is now complete.
They held this shit in Chernobyl to keep it as a secret trial. That's why we were in the middle of Chernobyl city instead of in the capital or anything. We said that, right? So we're got bootleg Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, buddy.
I'm fighting him right now.
Yeah, I can take you, man.
Valery Alexeyevich Legasov, son of Alexei Legasov, head of Ideological Compliance Central Committee. Do you know what your father did there?
Yes.
As a student, you had a leadership position in Komsomol, communist youth, correct?
You already know.
Answer the question.
He's like, you got the paper, bitch.
Seriously.
At the Kachatov Institute, you were the Communist Party secretary. In that position, why worry about something that isn't going to happen?
Why worry about something that isn't going to happen? Oh, that's perfect. They should put that on our money.
So the Soviet Union way. Why worry about something that isn't gonna happen? I talk to him anyway. Unless I thought he was gonna threaten them.
To be a scientist is to be naive.
Oh, this is the recordings he did?
We are so focused on our search for truth, we fail to consider how few actually want us to find it.
That's the plant way over there.
But it is
We're kind of far.
always there,
Not real
whether
far.
we see it or not, whether we choose to or not. The truth doesn't care about our needs or wants. It doesn't care about our government.
With the making of type thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well that's the finale. Holy shit. Yeah, they did it. Wait, I didn't know how they were gonna do it, but actually showing what happened that day was actually like really, really good. Like, well done.
Yeah, that was a smart route.
Like I didn't know that. I was trying to figure out whether I was like, are they gonna do an hour, 10 minutes of just them talking?
Yeah. Well, surprisingly enough, though, I feel like I learned a lot through like the way they were breaking it down.
Yeah, the way he was breaking it down, he was kind of saying the way he was saying what was supposed to happen and then what did happen, and then why they chose to put these little things, the tips. Weird though, the tips of the things that are going in spark stuff, and the thing that the other part is what makes it go down. So the fact that it was already at 3,200 or whatever, 32,000.
Yeah,
they put that in and just blew it up. I mean, so the government was responsible for a major, like for a big portion of it, but the one dude sucked.
Which is weird because to me it was like the guys that were new to it, or at least newer than he was, because he was doing it for 25 years, they were completely against it. They were like, we need to shut it down.
I wonder if it's one of those things like I've been here for 25 years.
Yeah.
But like times have changed, buddy. You know what I mean? Like when somebody's at a job for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this is the way we should be doing it. We've been doing it like this for 50 years. That's what we, you know what I mean? Like when you work at a factory or something and somebody has the old way, but you get there and you have like a faster way. So I think it was one of those. These are like the young guys. They just, went to school, got out of school. So they know all, like, they're all brand new or not brand new, but they know that the other guys, like, I've been here for 25 years. Like, I don't know, his reasoning was so dumb. Like, he just wanted to make it look good on paper so that he can be considered for that job. But the way that they broke it down, it was like, what did the one guy said? He was like, he did so many errors. So many times he could have stopped it, right? And then when he turned, he was like, but the main reason he did so many errors, more errors than anybody else, is because he assumed he had a failsafe button. So yeah, the button was fucked. The button would have stopped it, or if he would have had like the non-cheap shit, which is what one guy scientist said years ago. We can't have all this cheap shit. But he did so much shit that led to it getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
At any point he stops, he waits 24 hours, nothing happens, right? The thing that to me sucks the most is the two dudes, man, that were on it. Two young guys. The one that was there, they got it so bad. The one dude had no face. The radiation took his face. And the other one was the one that we saw that looked like it was all like they died a day later. Right? And then they said that one of the guys that was in that fucking explosion room, they will never recover his body. He is buried under that shit.
Under it. Yeah.
And they can never go in there.
I didn't think that when they mentioned that the one kid was like 25 years old and that he'd only been working there for 4 months, I didn't even think that you would be put in such a position to be making or continuing a procedure that you were never even trained for.
That's what she said. It was supposed to happen 10 hours earlier. They postponed it 10 hours.
Postponed it.
Then the new shift happened. Then
nobody on that shift.
And the night shift, they aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah, they had no clue.
So then they're like reading shit. Then he calls. The funny thing is he calls. He's like, yeah, we do these. We have to follow these instructions. Some have red lines over them. And the guy's like, follow the ones that have the red lines over them. And then the other guy's like, so why do they have red lines? Like, what? You've crossed out shit you're not supposed to do, but you tell them to do the things that have been crossed out. It's so weird. And I don't know, the way they built the tension, right, where we know what's going to happen, but like they built it like really well, where like number starts going down slowly and then all starts going like taking like big ass falls.
Chunks, right? Big chunks.
And then the one dude tried to save his own ass saying he was on a toilet. And then they're like, well, how come all the other 6 dudes that were in there said you were in that room or whatever? But they all got the same jail sentence,
which is nuts. That's nuts.
All three of those dudes aren't problem. Not on equal, not on equal. The dude in the middle should have. He's besides the government, he's number one problem. The two dudes on the side, they try to say that unless he did bullshit that paper. Did he bullshit that paper? When he said, oh, this was not real. He signed it, but this isn't what, like the things that were on that paper weren't exist.
Mm-hmm.
They said that part of the lie.
Oh, I mean,
or did he really sign it knowing there was nothing there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then the one guy over to the right, what the fuck did he do? The one guy that was like leaning against the wall in the office. Ooh, what did he do?
Oh yeah.
What was part? Why was he? he sucked at the beginning when he's yelling at the people, right? But like, what the hell did he like? He didn't like. I don't know why he got the same thing. And 10 years of hard labor. What does that mean?
Yeah, that must be.
Is that like working construction? Is that like working a 9 to 5? Like, what's that? It couldn't be that bad because they got to go. One of them got to go back to work at another power plant.
Did it say prison sentences or something like that? What if hard labor is that? Like,
yeah, but like, what's that? Is that what they call? That's not what they call prison.
I don't know. Yeah,
hard labor means like, all right, you got to do construction for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like, I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't know if the Soviet Union has different things. They never really said what. I wish we would have known. I mean, maybe that's why they did it in slow motion at the end. Did the scientist guy ever talk to Boris again? Don't think so.
I don't think so.
So they watched him and made sure he never talked to Boris.
Yeah.
And Boris died 4 years later, and the scientist died 2 years later. He killed himself, and he killed himself because his death would have gotten other scientists to really dive into those tapes. Tapes of the things he was filming at the beginning. I mean, he didn't throw his friends under the bus. They talked about his past. It was interesting when they talked about some racist shit from back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, he essentially, I don't know if you could call it racist, but come on for it. I mean, no Jew can be a scientist.
Yeah,
that comes off a little bit thing, but he just kind of, it was like back in the day, he signed papers that allow for no Jew and some other races not become scientists. But it was kind of like for him to get company.
Now, what is Boris that when Boris stood up and spoke,
they listened to him?
Listened. Yeah.
He's the guy they put in charge that was part of the government.
Okay.
Right? Like he's the one that.
Okay, yeah.
He was like of all the people they could have sent, they said the one guy that cared.
Right. I remember
he was like the government guy.
Okay. That makes sense. Why?
Yeah, so why they didn't, why they cared about what he had to say. Yeah, I mean
So was it just the one guy's name is Anatoly, right? The mean boss guy. Is that like, was him just wanting to get it over with type of thing? Was that just him trying to rush, you think, into just knowing that he was gonna be considered for the position?
Well, I mean, I think it was one of those where like your boss wants you to do something. I want you. You have to get this done by tonight, and then you're like, if I go to the boss tomorrow, like, and then there's a new positioning opening up, then his mind's probably like, well, I want to make sure I get this done for the boss. If I go tomorrow and say, oh, we couldn't do it, it's gonna look bad. It's gonna look bad on my resume or whatever. So I think he was just trying to he wanted to get done, so that way he can like he say, I think he's the scientist who said it. He was like he wanted to report a good positive test, like he wanted to do that. I think he was just doing it to essentially give a good, oh look, boss, I did it, like you said. Because if not, then you'd be like, oh, we had to wait 10 hours. Oh, turns out we have to wait 24 hours. You go to the boss the next day. The more you take, the longer it takes for it would take for the reactor to be up and running or whatever. They were doing the tests. So my guess is that I wanted to bring him a positive test and then kept pushing for it. But I would feel like if even if the button worked, that shit would have looked bad on your boss. Because now you have to hit that button that's gonna that's gonna shut the shit all the way down.
Yeah,
that would look bad too.
I felt bad when the one guy was and it goes into what people were telling us early on too about the higher ups and like how you can't disrespect them or whatever. Like knowing that he was saying the right things, obviously later on when we were being told he was saying the right things, how he was
Amika or whatever, the guy with the glasses.
The guy with the glasses.
Yeah, with the mustache.
He's like, how he, like the way he was apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry for my unsatisfactory,
like, bro.
Or like that my work was unsatisfactory. Like I was like, what?
Yeah, like
heck?
he's like this whole you can't like talk back or anything. He did stand up by the end of it. He was like, no.
Yeah.
And then other people were saying no, and then he put other people to do it.
The thing that you said is crazy because it's something that at least I've experienced. I mean, obviously not to this degree, but I've experienced it in like factory work and warehouse work. Like that's a big deal. Like, hey, you approved. I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing. Put it on paper, write it down. Before I do it and sign off on it, so that my ass is covered. Yeah, so like the fact that he tried that, he just slapped it out of his hands.
Yeah, that's
like
crazy.
that's still to this day. I mean, obviously not, like I said, not to the degree, but like even when I was like working in like factory work, like if something was told to be done that wasn't supposed to be done the way,
I need a proof.
Yeah, I need you to sign off on this first. Like that's crazy.
Like I was, that was all nuts. I mean, the way that the woman, I forgot her name, Halana, what was her name? One woman.
Something.
When they said that wasn't a real person. That's what they said, right?
Right. Yeah. I think it's later.
Oh, really?
I think we're already too. Yeah, I think it was later. I think it was one of the last things right there. Ulana.
Yeah, so she wasn't real.
So she represented.
Yeah, she said the character of Ulana was created to represent them all. And all who?
Right, who's the all?
Oh, the bunch of scientists that he was with. So there was a group of people that actually were working. So Boris and this one were working with a bunch of other people. So they weren't just meeting her. They were meeting a bunch of other people.
They probably had all the scientists going around asking.
Yeah, so like the scientists,
what actually happened and stuff.
Yeah, so I guess they kind of.
That's a different, unique way to do it too, though. To like
create one character
to just kind of
explain. I guess the show. I mean, the show. I guess they didn't want to focus on these other scientists, but maybe they wouldn't have known how to tell that story for them. They just kind of put it onto one character.
Plus budget wise, and you got to
involve actors and stuff. So so her, the way that she convinced him, because he was like, when he was like, if I do it, I'll get shot. I'll take a bullet or what he said, something like that. And her response was like, so, like, her response was very okay. But you got to do what you got to do. Like, you have to take that bullet and kind of, but they'll listen to you. Interesting. The Boris stuff where Boris now at the beginning when the show started, he was kind of like doubting, like in the first episode, he was kind of doubting what the science was saying until he started to see it. And then when he was coughing up blood, he was like, Forrest kind of felt like he also felt like him when he also failed. Like, damn, like all this shit. He felt like he almost took responsibility for it too a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like he almost also fucked up. So I'm guessing that the miner that we saw, main guy, probably wasn't a real guy. One guy.
Like the one.
Yeah. So I'm guessing because they didn't really show a picture of him. I mean, they didn't show a picture of a lot of people. I thought they were going to actually show a comparison to everybody that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do that. They just kind of showed the main people. But like the guy 100 of the miners died before 40.
Right.
So they would have all been like in their 20s, 30s. So they died before 40.
I don't know why it blows my mind that this event didn't take place. I know it took place, it's like over 30 years now.
50 years almost.
Is it?
Yeah, because 86, so it's 20, so 54 years ago? No, 44 years ago, right? Yeah, 34 years ago?
34 years. That's what I'm saying. 34 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my age. I'm so stupid.
Yeah, so like the fact that it happened 34 years ago, like blows my mind. Because like even right there where we were actually seeing like footage that they were, filming and recording, like that was like actual.
Yeah, I didn't think, I was actually, when they showed up, like, oh shit, there's actual footage of all this. Yeah, because when you start watching, you're like, man, this had to be 100 years ago.
It had to be forever ago.
Yeah, this is like, I mean, yeah, the way that there's cars and shit, it made sense. Like, like, oh yeah, the 80s, but it's also a different country. So, yeah, the way the beginning went was pretty, like, it was really cool. Where we kind of saw the day before, and then they kind of kept going back to it. And, he was told to do this test because he had to do the test, whatever. And then they're doing it. They had to wait 10 hours, which they did. I thought that was all pretty solid.
Really?
If there's anything major that we can grab, if there's anything else we can really grab.
I just think that like we said and mentioned before, I think the way they directed it and had it jumping back and forth.
Yeah, that
was the best route.
Like honestly, like this is like the way that they did it almost made it feel like it's probably like best episode probably. Maybe I thought the pilot. Maybe this and the pilot are probably the 10s, and the other 3 are probably 9s. I mean, they all feel like one giant movie. And as a movie, if you were just saying this whole thing as a movie, a 4-hour, 5-hour movie, it's probably a 9, 10. I mean, I don't know how else you could tell this story and make it interesting, make it feel scary, like make it feel mega intense. They did it like this entire episode like was a court case, right? And then they kind of like the way that they went back to this. These guys, the way they went to work, they're making fun of this guy being so young. Then he gets put in charge, and then right out the gate, he's like, "What?" Like I said, you get put in charge of like the giant crane at a factory, or I'm like, "What? Never had this crane." Then something goes wrong, and then you get blamed. You're like, "Dude, I don't even have my license for this bullshit."
Yeah,
like he's been here for 4 months.
They pitched it like, normal day, another day at the office. Yeah. People like you said, joking on him, and then all of a sudden he gets called up and. He's just like, whoa. Weird. And then, like, could you imagine being, like, one of the people that work in there and, like, you're in there and you're just kind of, like, taking notes and then all of a sudden you hear him banging and you're like, what the hell? That's
fucked up. They didn't tell him anything.
Yeah.
That's mega fucked up.
Like, hey, you're going to go. They didn't tell him anything. Yeah.
They didn't even know there was a test.
It's a normal day.
Yeah, so you're doing your readings and your shits or whatever you have to do down there, not knowing there's a test happening. Like, I feel like you should know there's a test happening. Like when they won, like how much did he say those things? Those things weighed like a ton, like those fucking.
Oh yeah,
he said it weighed like a shit ton, right? And they're being jumped into the air like they're fucking nothing.
Oh yeah,
like they're made out of plastic, And then the one guy starts to run. Yeah, but this, I found, dude, I had no idea what the fuck he was saying.
Dude,
but this whole thing right here, I was like, oh man, the water.
All right, the balance.
Yeah, like, oh no.
The balance and everything.
Crazy ass thing. Like, this is like, to me, this just feels like one of those shows where like, oh man, I'll remember a lot of shit from this show.
So even like he said, before they pressed the button or before they started trying to crank it back up and then eventually press the button that became a detonator basically, there was still some blue things balancing it to a degree.
Like he said, all these things had to go wrong. If this thing happens before this thing, and then nope, this one comes off, and then the way he at the end, he's like, "This is gone. This is gone."
Oh
this
yeah, and then we were just all red. I was like, oh yeah,
yeah, like, oh yeah, and then when we see it, literally as soon as the explosion happens, their faces are all red. They've already been affected, like already got contaminated with whatever it is. This is the part you're talking about with
Raise the power.
No, oh, no, this isn't it. That's the part when he fucking says, "Nah, man, we good." They do it.
It still blows my mind that like to see him here. And how much months was the trial after? Or was like the year after or whatever?
A year later.
A year later.
He looked old.
Dude, white.
Actually,
hair.
if you check, if you notice, his hair is white too, right here. A little bit on the sides already. And I'm pretty sure his hair wasn't this white before. And, and then Boris is coughing up blood. I mean, Boris lasted 4 years though. They told him a year.
They kept focusing on her. I thought.
Yeah, but I think they were just saying these are the scientists. These are the scientists that she's still gonna be in the crowd. They did focus on her. I thought maybe she was somebody.
Right, a little bit more. Yeah,
it was like these are the scientists. A lot that they were kept talking about. She was saying they were gonna be here. Essentially, the scientists that when he died on the tapes, listen to everything.
I mean, obviously, all the information.
This is what I wanted to see.
Yeah, all the like information stuff is real cool, and I'm like 100% into it. But whenever they get to like actual
this stuff here,
oh my god, it's like, dude, it's so.
That was one thing I was gonna say. I'm like, damn, I was like, I want to see the thing that they walk on, the thing that like that you see in the pictures, and that's what that room was.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are still. You can't even move any of that. Like there's pictures of it before it went up. So who's the guy that's still there? When they show the thing, it's not the guy that ran away, is it? I mean, maybe it is. But yeah, the explosion happens. Everything goes to hell. They're all all fucking here. I like how me and you were like, oh man, I'm going in. We about to fight. I could take you over.
Yeah, at this point, like, yeah, I could take you, but
or unless you know some deadly ass techniques, but and then even the guard, I'm like, the guard ain't got a gun, man. He's looking, I don't know, but the way that he made it seem like it kind of we're gonna make it seem like you never pretty much existed. Every scientific thing you've ever done, we're gonna say somebody else made it.
Right. You're
like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like you'll live your life knowing other people are gonna get the respect. Like that's crazy. I always heard of Chernobyl. Like there's a horror movie with Jesse McCartney. Chernobyl.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Chernobyl Diaries. It's a horror movie. So like people that didn't leave, they're like radiation monsters. I'm like, oh,
so it's like over the top.
Yeah, like over the top, stupid horror movie. But Jesse McCartney was in it, and I like Jesse McCartney, so I was like, okay. But yeah, I've always heard of Chernobyl, but never knew anything. Like I never knew like the actual story of what the fuck went down. Yeah, it's all real footage. Pretty cool. And then we got to see. Yeah, dude, this right here 10 years. What the fuck? I don't know what 10 years of hard labor. I don't know what that means.
Who's Nikolai?
Oh, the guy on the left. Oh, the guy on the right.
The other guy. Yeah,
he's the one that gets his job back. This motherfucker. I guess he's the one that didn't really do anything.
I'm about to say
he's the one that I was like, what did he do? He was just in that room. He was like, there's nothing that he did that would have really. Y'all, the bridge thing. Damn, that's fucked up. The bridge of death. Call it the bridge of death, right? It says. That's kind of crazy, bro. So every person that watched it that day, including the kids, are dead.
And you said you can't go here.
Chernobyl, people have gone there to take pictures, but I don't know how close they're getting.
Okay.
So maybe they're just kind of like, because there's like a giant mile radius, which they say here, but I don't know how many. I don't know, 2,600 kilometers. So said.
And that doesn't go away. Like I don't know how radiation.
Oh, not because it says that it's gonna be there forever, essentially. Because that's why they had to build that dome, which they built it in 2017. That's mad. That's like 30 years later. They built that dome. That's crazy. Or they finished it, which I guess makes sense because you can't be there, so it's gonna take really slow. Like it's gonna take forever to put it. So they built that dome that he talked about, and then
we're gonna last 100 years.
In 100 years, what they're gonna do? Build it again? Because he said that the radiation here is 50,000 years.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he mentioned like it should. This is the dome here. So this is the thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, look all the way the trees go up next to the buildings now. Yeah, so this is the dome that they built. So I'm curious. Can you visit here? No,
I mean,
right?
It doesn't look
kind of close.
It's not even upkept.
There's no way you could visit here, right? I don't know, but yeah. And then kids got cancer, like. And I like how part of the game in their record books it says only 31 people have died because of it. They haven't changed this since 87. So, but that's a series. I mean, great series, great series. It'll be like I'm saying, it'll be one that'll like, oh man, you ever seen Chernobyl?
Oh,
like it'll be one you'd be like, oh man, this is you have to watch Chernobyl about what happened. It's a story that we don't really. I've heard of it, but I've only heard of it from like movies and or.
Is the Metro game?
That might be Chernobyl.
Is
like,
it?
Something like Chernobyl.
Because I know it's like the whole radiation thing. And
but we get to wear the suit.
Yeah.
Interesting. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the series. We're gonna get out of here. We have a poll up, so if you're seeing this, go vote in the poll. I should have said that at the beginning. But like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna get out of here, and we'll talk to you guys later.